Showing you how to create a somewhat symmetrical photo using Pixlr and specifically using the Pixlr X. In order to make this go smoothly, I already have my photos separated from the backgrounds, and I'm prepared to use a stock photo to fit certain categories. So, since this is based on an assignment that requires 6 types of photos to be gathered during class, I'm going to be showing you how to make an example that is similar to this final piece. Granted, the photo I've used of myself along with the background are not 100% symmetrical, but it's close. We're going to be creating a piece very similar to that. So what I recommend is that you create new. I chose to do full HD, and this is what comes up. Once I do the full HD, the first thing I'm going to do is go in the bottom left corner and add image. I'm using an image from my device. I'm going to select browse. If you do not have a specific image from your device, you are more than welcome to use stock photos and to search landscapes or field of flowers, ocean, galaxy, specific words that will land you on the background that you're looking for. But instead, I'm going to browse. I'm going to go in my editing photos, and I'm going to insert this field JPEG. Hopefully this fits fine. I haven't tested this out. No, it is absolutely too small. I'm going to click on the layer over here and press delete on my keyboard. The layer is gone. Because that photo was drastically too small, I'm now going to use a stock photo and type in a field of flowers. For the sake of this assignment, you do not necessarily need to have a photo that is your own. You can use a stock photo. So I'm going to add this to current. I chose that photo because it seems pretty symmetrical and it's definitely something that I can use. You'll notice here that you have the photo which is functioning as the background, the original transparent layer, and every time we add a photo, a new layer will be created. Again, I have my background. I don't think I want to make any adjustments quite yet on the background. I want to browse again. Let's choose the photo of me. I'm going to open it and add it to current. I'm going to zoom out on the right hand side using the minus sign because I noticed that my selfie is too large for this digital canvas. So I want to adjust the size so that it fits exactly where I need it. And I want it about here. I'm going to shrink it again. I want it in the center. Clicking back on my background, I'm going to go back in, adjust the background as best as I can. And my goal is to fill this space. There, that is perfect. You could always just double click on the section that you want and it will allow you to edit that section as well. I think this is good. All right, so here I have my first setup. I'm going to zoom back in. I can tell you right now I'm not the biggest fan of the colors here. So what I'm going to do is for the background on the left hand side, I'm going to use the adjust and filter sections to change how the background looks. So first I'm going to do adjust. I want to tint the background into a warmer color. So I'm going to use this draggable selection to tint it. Next, I think I do want to make it slightly more vibrant, and these are tools you can definitely just play around with. The temperature, I want it, do I want it cooler? For temperature, actually, I'll leave it the same. And then hue, I'm going to test out some of the hues and see what I like. 0, which is perfectly fine. I can always go in, adjust the highlights, the shadows, and anything of that such, whatever works for me. I'm going to lift in the contrast a little bit too much. And then I can also do toning, fill, and curves. If I want to highlight, let's try to do this pastel lavender color. And there we go. I think, there we go. I'm going to apply. There, I've edited on the background. Next, I need to add, so I have an ideal location. I have a portrait of myself. I'm going to add something round. I'm going to click add image at the bottom here. I'm going to browse. I already have an image within my device. I'm going to choose this purple circle. I'm going to open the purple circle, add current, and this AI cutout. Let's let the machine do its thing so that the image is completely transparent and I'm able to use it the way that I would like. Wonderful. Now that the image is completely cut out, I'm going to click on the Arrange tool. I'm going to make this slightly bigger, bring it to the center here. Once it's in the center, I'm going to take this layer and drag it underneath my face. I want it behind my head. I feel as if this on the circle. This is much better. I like this a lot better. I can always go in again and adjust this photo or filter the photo any way that I would like. I think I'm going to add a fringe to it. Just a slight fringe. Yeah, I'm going to add this slight fringe. That's wonderful. Let's find another location for it. Just making sure it's super in the center. And that is perfect. Let me go back and ensure that the fringe was added. It kind of slipped off. I'm going to click apply. Again, going to add another image. Going to browse my images because I already have the things I need here. And then I'm going to add my favorite non-human. And here I have this cat. I'm going to add it to current. Going to leave the image pretty big right now. So now that I have this image of this cat added, I know that I want this layer to be pretty transparent, okay? So I could do this two ways. I could go here and make the layer roughly about that transparent, and then we can go and add an adjustment, change the tint to my liking. Also going to be a pretty cool color. Now that I have my cat layer made, I've adjusted it to the proper transparency using my Arrange tool. I changed the transparency to 52 and I've dragged the cat behind the circle here and my face. What I'm going to do is take the cut tool, going to use remove using the brush, and I want to softly go over these edges. I'm going to get rid of some of the edges and I'll show you how this is going to go in just a moment. All right, once this is to my liking, I'm going to click on the three dots here. In the bottom, it gives you a few options to merge the images together, to use your blend mode. I'm going to duplicate layer. Now that I have a duplicate layer, I'm going to drag it to the other side of my image and line it up perfectly, and then flip horizontal. And this is just using the move tool. Now I have these two cats that are sitting on either side of my head. And that's perfect. That's what I want. I'm looking at the image of myself here in the center. And once again, I don't like the edges that are here. So what I'm going to do first is clean up those edges around here. Okay, so I have my cutout brush open. I'm gonna clean up these sharp edges a bit. They're a little too sharp for my liking. I'm taking my time, going over both sides. I'm not doing anything too exciting. The effects are a personal choice. You don't have to do things this way. I just choose to do them this way. Now that I've done that, I believe I want to use an effect on here. I really like this effect. I'm going to use the Just Blues. I'm going to apply that effect. I'm also going to check out some filtering. I think, I either want to bloom. No. I really do like this fringe effect, especially in blue. I want to add a little bit of fringe. Apply. Going to my circle layer, I'm also going to add that same effect. Let's add a little bit of fringe, and that is in the filter. Okay, I think it worked. It may or may not have worked. Let's try it again to make sure. Adjust. Do I need to adjust it before? Nope. Let's give it 15 fringe. Apply. For some reason it's not showing, but that's perfectly fine. Let's zoom out. So I have a picture of myself, something round, an ideal place, my favorite non-human. I need to add my favorite activity and something random. So for my something random, I want to add a photo from my device. I'm going to use a PNG version. Let's add to current. Do I need this? Absolutely not. What I'm going to do is using this, I want to flip this vertically and horizontally. The blend mode, soft light. I really like soft light, but it's a little too stark. Actually, let's do some difference. Let's do difference. Let's do difference. Difference is cool. Okay, there. Same thing here. I'm going to copy this layer. Now that's been duplicated. I have this here. I'm going to flip it the other way and drag said layer over until these are symmetrical. The last thing I need to add, so I have a face, I have something, I have a circle, my favorite non-human, a background, something random. I need to add something for my favorite activity. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to go through the stock photos. My favorite thing to do is to eat. Eating is my favorite activity. So now that I've opened the stock search, I'm just choosing one of the photos to use. You could always load more if you're not satisfied with what you're seeing in the stock photos. But I'm simply going to choose woman eats a tostada at a restaurant. Okay, I'm going to add this to current. I'm going to give it some time to load. And this sometimes takes a minute, especially if you do a lot of editing already on your device. It can take a while to load up the image from Pixlr. So once again, this image is huge. Too hard for me to see anything. I'm going to shrink it down. Let's zoom back in so I can see what's happening. Let's shrink it down. Am I going to crop this photo? Probably not. Instead, what I'm going to do is adjust the blend mode, make it kind of transparent. Actually, let's do soft light on this one. But yeah, we're just going to adjust the blend mode. And I want this layer behind the cats. Now what I'm going to do, the layer with the eating, I'm going to make a copy. Flip it. Oopsie daisy. Let's undo the layer here, make a copy, and drag it over. Sometimes there are issues where other things move. If you don't want other items to move, just unclick them and they will get out of your way. And then when you're ready, click them again. There's a small checkbox on the right and they will become visible again. And so this here is my symmetrical image. It's not amazing, it's something simple, but here's a way that you can make a symmetrical image. Hopefully this helps. This is a much longer version of a video that can be found on Pixlr on how to make a retro collage. Finally, I'm going to save the image. I want it to be a JPEG download. Perfect. And then you'll keep these images, or if you want to keep this in your Pixlr, you'll keep them until it's time for us to submit the image.